What if there was a science to getting rich? What if there was a formula that can show you exactly how to create more wealth, more abundance, more prosperity in your life? And what if you could apply this right now in your life? Well, stay with this, because in this video we're going to talk about the 3 main lessons, the 3 key principles from the book Science of Getting Rich from Wallace Wattles. And in his book he talks very deeply about what he calls the exact science of getting rich. And it's quite amazing, and it's a book that came out a long time ago, over 100 years, in fact, in 1910. It's a bit of a polarizing book because the author is very strong, very direct, and very blunt in his statement. In fact, one of the first sentences of the book is that anyone who applies the science, the formula of getting rich as described in the book, cannot help but getting rich. That is a bold statement, isn't it? And it says that you must really devote yourself to these ideas, to this paradigm, to those beliefs that are conveyed in this book if you really want to see the result in your life. And that you must put all other ideas aside, and in your all form of ideas, suggestions about wealth and money making aside, which is a big statement. But I really enjoy this book because unlike other books about money that can go a little bit esoteric and law of attraction, I truly believe that the key core principle of this book, the key main lesson that I had, are universal and are tangible and can be simply applied in your life. In fact, I often see so many of the principles that he shares in his book in so many other teachers, whether it's Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, even Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich came after this book, and I see some ideas, some ways that were already in the original book, Think the Science of Getting Rich. And one of the main things, in fact, chapter 1 is that you deserve to be rich. He talks very clearly and very boldly about how much you deserve to be rich and how you have to overcome this guilt consciousness or this poverty consciousness that he calls. And he says that poverty is a sickness of mind that must be eradicated. So again, it's quite a bold statement. But it goes on to say that the best way to help a poor person is to become rich yourself and show them how they can become rich themselves, and to elevate them to become aware of who they truly are and the power that they have to create and achieve success in their life. So let's go and let's check out those 3 key lessons. The first one is this. It's the power of thought. And I want to read a sentence because this is what he says in his own word. Principle number 1 to getting rich. Thought is the only power which can produce tangible riches from formless substance. This is the first principle, and it's a bit vague. Let's define formless substance, as he calls it throughout his book, with a more mainstream word today. Consciousness, universe, quantum field, God, Father, all those words that we use to describe that energy, that creative power that emanates, permeates, and creates and gave life to all things. And he says that there is this infinite intelligence, this intelligent field of energy, this formless substance from which all things came, that thing that created the universe, that created you, me, the planet, the nature, that created everything in perfect equilibrium to sustain life as it is right now. In simple words, really, it's the power of mind to manifest what you want. And so really what he's saying is that the power of your thoughts can be used to communicate with this field, to communicate with God, with consciousness. And when you give a correct intention, a picture, when you think of what you want, then the infinite substance will take your thought and will create it in a form that is most convenient and most perfect for you and harmonious with you. So this is a lot of things that have been taught into, like how to manifest and things like that. But the most important message in this first principle is this. Too often people think based from the appearances they have. You look at your bank account and you let your bank account, the number on your bank account dictate how you think relative to money. You look at the news, you look at what they're telling you about inflation, about the world, about crisis, about energy crisis, and you let that control how you think. You look at the scarcity in the world and you let your old belief system and new perception control the way you think. And so you keep on thinking the same old way, what he calls the poor way, the ordinary way, which will then translate into the result, into the manifestation, into what you create in your life. Because every thought is creative, every thought is generating and, if you want, giving some form of data to this infinite intelligence, which is then only giving back to you cause and effect. And what you tend to hold in your mind tends to manifest. So he says that you have to discipline your mind, and this is what he says, like, it's so difficult to consciously think from the end of what you want, to think greater than the appearance of what you have. So if right now you struggle with poverty or debt, or you don't see how you're gonna get a better job, a new job, whatever, you have to start thinking greater, that you are already a person that conveys massive value, that you are already good enough, worthy enough, rich enough, that you are always increasing. And when you start to think those thoughts, when you start to have that new picture in your mind, when you start to focus on abundance, of having, and you replace those old thoughts of lack and limitation, and you transform into something new, that infinite substance will then take on those thoughts and reflect them in your life. And that's why the key principle throughout this whole book is to always convey through your thought, through your emotion, what you want, because what you focus on, you experience. Which then brings me to the second principle that goes very well with the first principle. And in fact, it says that the second principle is this, it's gratitude. And I want to read again a passage because it's so beautifully stated. It said, the whole process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word, gratitude. And he goes into length about talking about gratitude because he says, thinking greater than appearances, focusing on what you want, having that vision, that image, and being that person, embodying that person now is extremely difficult. And if you don't have an attitude of gratitude, if you don't appreciate what you have, if you're not looking for the best, your mind will very fast digress into looking at the appearances that are already there, into the lack, into the limitation, into the worry, the anxiety, and you will be sidetracked into the old ways. And he says that attitude of gratitude is the cure-all for this. Because the more you can focus your attention on what you already have, all the things that are working, the things that you had in your life, the best and the super ordinary, and you create that energy of thankfulness and harmony with that infinite substance, with God or the quantum field. And so you can align your desire, your new thought, with that new energy of gratitude, which is the ultimate state of receivingship. And so gratitude can help you stay in that state that allows you to have those new thoughts, that new focus, that new personality, that new identity, which will then help you manifest much faster what you want in your life. And in this case, the financial abundance that you desire. So this is the second key principle. And finally, the last one, which is extremely important as well, is this. It's the impression of increase. Principle number 3, impression of increase. And it says this, and it's so compelling, but it's so simple and it makes so much sense when you think about it. Everybody wants and is seeking to increase in their life somehow. Financially, spiritually, health-wise, we want more. And it says it's that infinite substance between all of us that is seeking further and fuller and greater expression. And that's why we all have that innate desire for more. And it says whatever your job is right now, whatever your occupation, whatever you're doing right now in your life, your main focus in your work, when you deal with other people, should be to convey that feeling of increase toward other people. Whether it's in a thought or whether it's in your action, attitude, or behavior. What do I mean by that? It says that basically, if you can make other people feel important, significant, loved, like well cared for, if you can provide more value than what they pay you for, people will repay you in amazing ways, because what you give always comes back. But you have to give genuinely, not in a way to manipulate your way and get things in exchange, but genuinely wanting to be of service and genuinely wanting to make other people feel great. And this comes a lot in the books of Dale Carnegie, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. So many successful entrepreneurs will tell you that you have to give more value and that you have to deliver more if you want to create raving fans, if you want to create loyal clients and customers who are satisfied and keep on coming back. Even if you are a hairdresser or making an ice cream, you can make people feel very good about themselves, about their new look, about the flavor, about the choice, about what they're buying, about the experience. And it says to keep that golden rule in mind. What I want for myself, I wish it to everybody. And what I don't want for myself, I wish it to nobody. Because once you can dedicate your focus and energy on making other people feel great, feel important, feel significant, you will be repaid beyond your wildest imagination. And this is one of the key actionable steps that you can take today in your work. So look at your behaviors toward other people. Are you living consciously other people make feel better? Are you giving consciously an impression of increase toward other people? And those are the key three principles. Think greater than your current appearances. Use the power of your thought, the power of your imagination to go focus on what you want. Use gratitude to help you create that state of appreciation, to help you align yourself with that infinite intelligence, and also to eliminate the fear, the anxiety, the worry by consciously choosing to focus on the best. And finally, make and leave everybody with a feeling of increase, because what you give will always come back, and that is the golden rule. So I hope you enjoyed these videos, those 3 key lessons, this quick, short book summary. Let me know what you think. It's the first one of this kind. If you want more book summaries, if you want more expansion of those ideas, let me know, guys, in the comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Be well.